What's up, Scorpio? Welcome to your June 2020 Creativity Tarot reading. My name is Kayleigh Jean, and welcome to my channel. I record these readings for artists, entrepreneurs, and anybody who's really working on their personal growth, self-expression, or spirituality in any form. So if those areas of life are important for you right now, I encourage you to go ahead and keep listening. I also want to really quickly say, because I get asked this a lot, you can use this reading for your sun, moon, or your rising sign, and it's also very possible sometimes if they don't resonate, and that's totally fine. They're general readings, but I also encourage you to come back to this reading at the end of June because it's very likely that you will find some themes that do actually connect to the experiences that you have the month of June. So I will just leave that with you, and let's get into your reading. So I had a really powerful meditation for you while I was tuning in. I got this kind of image. It was almost like a Joan of Arc, like a woman with like a almost knight armor on. So it was kind of interesting. And then I felt this strong sense of someone kind of standing up really straight. Okay, so whether you're a male or female Scorpio, this is for you. But it feels to me like there's something about what's going on in your life or what you're seeing around you in June that is giving you the opportunity to take a stand. And I think that this could be giving you the opportunity as well to present a case for something. Because I'm also kind of getting this sense, it kind of reminds me in a way of like a defense attorney, or maybe this isn't something specifically related to you. It could be something that you're seeing outside of you, like in the world around you, that you're just not stoked on. Let's put it that way. And so you're taking a stand. You're taking a stance on a particular topic, let's say. And I think that your words are going to be really powerful. And I think that maybe if you have been somebody who has maybe an opinion on something, or if you have a well thought out kind of, you've thought about something or you've experienced something and you haven't actually spoken up about it for whatever reason. Maybe this is like in social media or in your business or with your family even. If there's something that you're just not too keen on because you feel like maybe it's not quite totally ethical, not totally kosher, let's say, that you're like, you know what, I feel like I need to speak on this. I need to discuss this topic. Maybe you had your reasons for not discussing it in the past, but for right now, it feels like you are sort of taking a very strong position on something this month. And I think that it's important for you to recognize the power of your words right now, Scorpio. I think you have a very profound ability to influence change, and you may not really be able to see all of the changes that you are initiating through using your voice on a particular topic. Like, you might not be able to see the full effect because, let's say, for example, you have a YouTube channel and you're broaching a particular issue that you feel passionate about this month. Let's say something that you see that's unethical in a corporate situation that you're looking at out in the world, and you're thinking, hang on, this is not right. This is clear to me that something weird is going on here, and you just want to bring attention to it. Let's just say that is the situation. Remember, it could be, even in your own family, you might be calling out something that's going on in your family, let's say, but let's just take the YouTube example. You could be really profoundly giving voice to something that a lot of other people have inside of them, but for whatever reason felt like they couldn't say anything. Or there's going to be people who encounter you speaking your truth who feel spoken for. Themselves, even though you may not have ever met them, even though you may have totally different backgrounds, even though you have totally different experiences. There's something here, Scorpio, that feels so powerful. I just got goosebumps saying that, because it's like you don't know all the people that you have the potential to speak for or speak to the experiences that they have that they're afraid or unwilling to share. So there is this kind of energy of really standing out and taking a stance on a topic. I also just again want to emphasize the power of your words to generate shifts and changes. Okay, so you may feel like you have no idea who it's going to benefit for you to do this. And what I feel is, if you're considering something like this, or you're listening to this and you're intuiting, you're like, yeah, I can kind of feel something like this coming up myself. Just know this is your message from the universe saying that this is about more than you. This is about more than just your unique experience. You have the potential to really bring and shed light on experiences and stories that are not your own, but that will give other people the feeling of being seen and the permission that they also can speak on a particular topic, or they also can stand up for themselves. So there's more to it, Scorpio, than what you're thinking. And I think that knowing that should help you to make the decisions that feel authentic to you regarding what you speak out on, what you share, how open you are about it. So just keep that in mind. Every situation is going to be different, so you're going to have to moderate how much you share and what you put out there to make sure that you are protected and you are comfortable and you feel good in your voice. But also know that putting that out there is going to be way more than just you. It's going to be beneficial for you because you're going to be able to speak your truth, and it's going to connect with a lot more people than you're thinking. But it's also going to be really beneficial because it's going to inspire other people to be able to speak their truth as well. So that's the message. I feel like that's a really specific message for someone, but hopefully that is helpful. And that could, again, relate in a lot of ways to, like, let's say you're just like an entrepreneur or you own a business. That could still relate, but it may be just relative to a topic that's connected somehow to what you do, So just keep an open mind. Scorpio. Okay. We've got, I guess that means we should look at the bottom of the deck. We've got the Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So again, that theme of advocacy, Knights are, they go out to protect. They go out to protect their clan or their people. Scorpio. My lovely Scorpios. Please, Spirit, give me clear, loving guidance for my Scorpios. Accurate messages for my Scorpios. All right, let's take a look at your path. Wow, Phoenix. Crossed by the zebra. This is a gorgeous reading. So beautiful. It's also kind of making me feel like there's like a Pegasus vibe because we've got this, zebra shape, and then we've got the wings. So it kind of just gives me that energy. If anybody's been connecting a lot with Pegasus imagery, this could also be an extension of that type of synchronicity for you, but in a funny way because it's a zebra instead of a horse. Okay, but Scorpio, what I want to say here is pretty clear. So the Phoenix card as your path, it's very clear to me when I look at this that you really are on a path that is giving, I guess, the work and the alchemy and the effort and the shadow work and the study and all of the things that you have done kind of internally to move yourself through life. Also, all of the challenges, and think of like your dark night of the soul moment. Scorpio, every Scorpio has them, maybe multiple. But think about like the heaviest things that you've been through and all of the constructive, beautiful things that you've also done in your life, there's something about the energy of June that really gives all of that past work, right? Some of that work was, joyful work that you chose, like studying something like related to healing, for example, or, mastering a craft. But also some of that work was, let's put it bluntly, some of that work was just pure suffering, just garden variety, freaking loss and disappointment and, heartbreak. Like, we've all been through it. But there's something about the culmination, within you, Scorpio. There's something about the culmination of all of that pain, all of the difficult things that you've been through as a human being, and all of the beautiful things that you have done, all of the wishes that you have and the desires that you have, and the progress that you have managed to make, in such crazy conditions that we are in as human beings. All of that is sort of culminating at this time to give you the opportunity to really rise with the Phoenix card. And this is giving me almost like my eyes are gonna water, because it just feels like, you can't get to this point, this juicy point of really like actualizing yourself, of really rising from the ashes, if you don't have the fire first, if you don't have the purification process that actually comes out of a putrefaction process. This is everything, culminating up to this point in a really beautiful opportunity for you to transform and to show your power, to yourself mainly, but other people are going to see it too. So this is going to be about really, I guess I want to say, it's so hard to describe because it's literally, one of those things that's just, it's really, we don't have a lot of words for it. But if you picture, your soul being almost in like the vertical plane and your physical existence and your incarnation being in the horizontal plane, this is like you being at the center of that, so to speak. This is about you really embracing a powerful shift that is generated within you in a very non-linear way that is allowing you to, rise from the ashes, expand, your sense of your spiritual power, your personal power, your ability to initiate changes in your life, and to express the fullness of who you are. In your badassery. So I just love this because, as well, like, the influencing energy is the zebra, but in this case, I feel like this is more of the outer expression here. So one of the things that I want to say for you, Scorpio, with this zebra card is like what this intense transformation, this rising from the ashes feels like. That's what this feels like on the inside. On the outside, this is what people are seeing, is the zebra. People are seeing a liberated individual. People look at you and are seeing you blossom in your uniqueness and your weirdness. That's what the zebra card is all about in this deck, is it's about embracing your eccentricity, feeling just bizarre and off the wall and kooky and not caring. And that comes from a deep place of being liberated, from restrictions and inhibitions and holding yourself back because you're afraid of maybe, what the ramifications will be of speaking up. And that's a totally reasonable fear, Scorpio. You've been burned in the past, but this time the fire is your fire. It's not fire that's coming from outside of you. It's your Phoenix fire, your Phoenix flames. And I think with the zebra card crossing you, it's like people are just seeing you as, just not afraid to do things in your own way. And I think that is really important, particularly if you're a Scorpio who's involved in some kind of healing art form or some kind of, I guess, tradition. Like, let's say if you're really involved in a very steeped tradition, like the example that's coming to mind is like shamanic tradition, right? There's a lot of respect that you have for the traditions of your craft. But I think in June, it's like you're rising out of the stage of being in that place of really adhering to tradition in the outer level, and then kind of engaging and sort of swallowing up like a dragon, like swallowing up the tradition, and then like letting it burn and like all come back out in an authentic way for you. It's like this more creative relationship that we see developing between your ability to be spontaneous and your respect for the craft and the ritual and the rules and the awareness, you know? So this is a really specific reading out there for someone. I feel like this is really, really specific, but let's get into your cards and we'll see what we've got. So we've got Three of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, Seven of Cups, the Hermit, the Tower, Two of Cups, and the Sun card. Beautiful. Lovely. Definitely some intense energies in this spread, but overall, I think that where things are landing for you are exactly where you would want to be, you know? It's just about the journey of the month. So we do have with the penumbral lunar eclipse on June 5th, that's actually going to be occurring in your second house, Scorpio. It's in Sagittarius. So what we see here, it makes a lot of sense that you have the Page of Pentacles coming up when you have a second house eclipse. This could potentially shake up some energy around your finances. With the Page of Pentacles, you could also be welcoming into your life a new stream of income. It may start out somewhat smaller because it's the page, but it's something good. It's like more coming in. Relative to wherever you find yourself right now financially, Scorpio. It's like you're feeling like, oh, this is good. This is something that can be really supportive to me in the long run. This is something that I can build on. This is something I'm excited about. With the Three of Wands, it's a journey that you want to go on, and it has to do with money. So that's what's going on in the first week of the month, is a lot of new journey information for you about how you're going to be making money in the world and how you're going to be embracing abundance and valuing yourself. So we see that coming up very strongly, but you are ready for it, and I do think that you are excited about it. Now, the second week of June, there is going to be some energy to contend with because you have the Ten of Swords and the Seven of Cups. Right? And so this is not the easiest energy to have. One of the things that I do feel with this, though, is that the potential is there, Scorpio, for you to engage with your own mindset in the second week of June to the point where you are kind of confusing yourself because you're thinking about simultaneously trying to hold so many different perspectives in mind. Like, I almost feel that you're trying too hard to manage different, like, almost concepts with the Seven of Cups. I feel like you are really trying to like do too much mentally, let's say. And I think that because of that, you're starting to kind of lose your footing and you're starting to kind of doubt yourself. But this is all going on internally. Like, everything about this spread is internal to me when I look at this. The Seven of Cups is an extremely internal card. And so I think that there's something about you in the second week just needing to really like keep things simpler for yourself. And if you do find yourself overthinking and you do find yourself kind of entertaining too many options or trying to kind of have like these dialogues with yourself wherein you end up more confused at the end than you did at the beginning, then it's really important with the Seven of Swords to just like in one fell swoop, you need to just like cut through all of that mental BS, basically. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. One of the ways that I do it may not necessarily always be the most kind of grounded thing to do or the most consistent thing to do, but honestly, for me, it really works to just do a really heavy workout. Just whatever I normally do for working out, just add maybe an extra 20 or 30 minutes to it, and just really tax my nervous system. If I'm at my wit's end, if I'm really struggling with something like that and I'm not sleeping that well and I'm overthinking, sometimes I will just give myself permission to just do a nice, like, deep workout. Something with heavier weights tends to really help my nervous system calm down. But that's not a permanent fix, obviously, because you really need to do the inner work to understand, why this is happening. But you can also, in my opinion, it's okay, it's allowed to throw something very physical at it just in the moment that it's going to help you just, get tired and sleepy so you can go to sleep that night because you've just been having more anxiety, recently or whatever. But you do need to meditate or journal or maybe talk with a therapist or something that works for you, that helps you kind of sort things out mentally, that gives you like the ability to actually get those thoughts out on paper or out verbally. Because if you hold it all in that second week of June, you're going to get confused. You're going to confuse yourself and you're going to be like, dang, what is going on? So just be aware of that. Like, since you got this reading, you know that this is a possibility, and you also know the remedy, which is the Ten of Swords. It's like, okay, just find a way to just relax yourself, find a way to cut through all of that. Even sometimes the Ten of Swords can be like acupuncture, I think of as well. So you might go see an acupuncturist and they might be able to help you to, soothe out. Maybe you've got some energy system imbalances in your body, and maybe a little acupuncture session or a massage is something that you need. And we do have a lot of businesses like that opening up again now. So of course, depending on what the laws are in your area and your vulnerabilities, in terms of your physical health, what kind of risks you feel okay about taking, I encourage you to just be safe and obviously hygienic about everything that you do. But if you need to go see your naturopath or your acupuncturist or whatever, I think something to kind of help release some of the imbalanced physical energy that is being held in your body that could be leading to these kind of negative feedback loops in your mindset. We see a continuation of that energy in the third week of June with the Hermit and the Tower. So again, I get this sense with this that, first of all, with the Hermit, this is an energy that is in alignment with you, Scorpio. It's even, for your sign, if you look at the astrology, Virgo sextiles Scorpio and Hermit. The Hermit card is the Virgo card. So this is a harmonious energy to you. You don't shy away from the Hermit card when it comes up in a reading. If you're like me, you actually move towards it. You're like, yes, give me some of that. So it could be, something that you want, but the Tower card can show that there could be disruptions. If you're in a very hermit-like flow, for example, in that third week of June, you could end up, maybe some family comes to visit, or, some kind of big change happens and you don't get to necessarily be as big of a hermit as you normally are. Whatever it is, just keep your wits about you. I could also see this the other way around, where when you get more alone time and you do your meditation or you do, your inner reflecting, the Tower card can also show like big realizations that you're having, essentially. I would also point out the similarity between the meditation message, where I was saying that it feels like you're kind of taking a stand or being willing to stand out. The Hermit and the Tower seems like it's a pretty good representation of that as a whole, because the Hermit stands alone and the Tower represents that raw divine power within each of us from that perspective. So it's like being supported as you stand out or stand alone. But the funny thing about this is that it seems to me like once you do make the effort and stand out or share your thoughts publicly on social media or in your business or even in your family or friend circle, you're going to find that you're not actually alone. So that's what we see here at the end of the month. We've got Two of Cups and the Sun. So this is really beautiful. The sun is rising, perhaps on a new relationship or a connection in your life, Scorpio. You could also, if you're partnered, Scorpio, you could be going on a trip with your partner. You could be feeling more romantic and flirtatious and bubbly and optimistic within the context of your connection with another person, or within the context of just your life in general. It doesn't have to be only tied to a specific other individual. In general, seeing the sun rising on these two people that are engaging in a healing connection, it's like the sun is rising on this beautiful transformation that you're going through as an individual. So by the end of the month, my estimation is that you are going to be feeling really good about everything that you have going for you. My estimation is that with these cards, you're going to feel like you kind of came out on the other side of whatever that like little mental wobble was in the middle of June. And this makes sense because we do have the solar eclipse in Cancer right after the solstice, which is actually in your 9th house. So again, that makes sense that you could be going on a trip or traveling. It could also just be about like your expansion and feeling that you are going in the direction that you really want your life to go in, and feeling like you have more faith in the world and more faith in people for some reason. So I think that's really beautiful. I think it's going to be a beautiful end to the month. So let's take a look at your Bob Ross message. And that may be the true joy of painting when you share it with other people. I really believe that's the true joy. Scorpio, I'm dying over here because of this. I think there's going to be a lot of joy coming in at the end of the month. And I think you're going to be feeling really good, like really good as you go into Cancer season. Yes. So, watch your mindset in the middle of the month. You're going to probably be, I was just going to give you a surrender card, and this one just flew out, so let's talk about that one. But I was going to say about the middle of the month, you're going to be coming to a lot of conclusions, and you might be feeling some of those, like with the Tower card and the Ten of Swords, you could be feeling some of those being quite heavy. So just be aware of that. Like if your mindset is way, out of whack, be aware that that is going on and really take that into account. I know it's hard to do when you feel like you're telling yourself a story that really grips you and you really believe it, like maybe telling yourself, I don't know, like that you look really bad, or, that you're, something like whatever we do, we tell ourselves these horrible things like, oh, you aren't smart, you're not smart at all, like, and you just really believe that, and you look for things to reinforce that thought. Don't do that to yourself, Scorpio. If you are struggling with that, like I said, engage in some kind of healing techniques, some therapeutic techniques that you can do, or talk to someone like a counselor or a therapist or a healer, because I think it's very possible that you could be coming to some like really skewed conclusions about what you have going on for yourself. And then when you get to that Sun and Two of Cups energy, you're going to be like, oh, why did I stress myself out so much last week? I really didn't need to do that. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. And if there is any big shifts going on, just know that that it is all actually working out in your favor. So let's take a look in your surrender card. It says, surrender to passion. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. So beautiful. All right, Scorpio, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being on my channel. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up. You can also leave a comment below. I'm going to try and think of something fun that I want to see from you guys. Just let me know like what gets you feeling excited, with this card. Like what kind of crafting or creative endeavors, or what activities do you really love that sort of ignite that side of yourself where you can just get into the zone with it and get into the flow. Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. If you just want to leave me a little emoji and let me know you're still here, leave me a fire. Let's do a fire emoji this time. I think those are very appropriate when we have the tower, and in that way we're kind of claiming the power of the tower, and recognizing that it is really within us. So let's go with that. I'm sending you so much love. If you'd like to support my channel, I will put the link to donate. This is a great time to support my channel. There have been some challenges lately with it as far as YouTube goes, and so if you want to say thank you and support the work that I do and the effort that I put into these readings every month, this is a great time to do that. I send out a verbal prayer of gratitude and for 1,000-fold blessings for each person that donates to my channel. So I always do that with every donation, and I really appreciate it. Even like I said, $1 is fantastic and so supportive to this work. Thank you guys so much for being here, Scorpio. I'm sending you a huge hug, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.